Hey, what's going on, y'all? We back at it with another one, man. I'm Standing on It podcast, man. Y'all know I got the usual crew in the building, man. We're not going to be on here all night because we got some people falling asleep, some people ready to disappear, and other niggas got to go to work in the morning. You feel me? So check this out, man. I'm going to speed this up. Shout out to that boy, Rail Holler, man. What's up, boy?
What up? What up? What's good?
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk loud to yell at the niggas so I can wake them up, y'all. You know what I'm saying? What up to that boy, 80 West?
That's what he looks like, Darth Maul. What up, West?
Hey, y'all, what up, man? Y'all see we already got nigga talking out of turn. What up, Reflection? Oh, shit.
Throw it up.
Here you go.
In the building.
And she back, man. It's been a few weeks now, but she back on. What up, Steph? She on mute. She muted herself, so I ain't got to mute her.
Hi.
The only female that's thuggish enough to be on the squad.
So, hey, man, I know y'all been seeing the news lately, man. Especially, I think, starting last week, man. Donald Trump said he ain't playing no more. So he done had the government stoppage right now. They trying to figure out this finance stuff with this EBT getting canceled at the moment. Section 8 look like it's going to be next. I see Section 8 still in effect, man, for November and December. But that EBT has been officially stopped as of right now, man. So y'all might see a pending balance on y'all card, on y'all EBT card for November, but it ain't going to be released. So Donald Trump, man, he the first president to ever cancel Thanksgiving, man. That boy is not playing. You know what I mean? So some of y'all going to be at the shelter getting turkey dinners there. Or y'all better hope y'all got Nicky Barnes in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm gonna start with that boy Rail so I can wake him up because he might not be on here long. I can see it in his face. Rail, man, what's your opinion? What's going on about this EBT and this Section 8?
You know, it's one of those things that I feel like there are people that genuinely need help, need assistance, and things like that. And then there are people that take advantage of the system. And I feel like what has happened, especially in the urban community, it has caused people to live on it for generations. Also, it creates a sense of laziness, where people feel like they don't have to work, or they're not going to, they're like, oh, I'm not working because I collect. And I just think that this is what's going on now. Is anybody who really needs it is right now a casualty to this whole situation. Because I feel like if people genuinely, if there weren't people taking advantage of the system, then we probably wouldn't have this problem, but also too,
good point.
We're not the only ones, like the urban community is not the only ones on government assistance, but we seem to be the blame of the reason why it's being taken advantage of. And I think that what tends to happen is that the finger's always pointed at us. So, at the same time where certain stereotypes are said about us, we tend to prove the stereotypes right. And by doing that, this is the repercussions of the actions, because I always say, like, one of the things is just an analogy. I always say is that the hood doesn't look dirty because it's not like there are the powers that be. They're not telling sanitation to come and just drop trash in the hood. They're not telling, there's not like things set up to like where it's like the white people going into the hood and like, yeah, they put drugs and guns in the hood, but at the same time, it's like we didn't have to use them, right? And the same thing to be said is like, okay, well, we know what's going on, we know the agenda that's being pushed, but it's like it's not anything to try and stop it. And I feel like, though, I mean, even the whole purpose of government assistance was to break up the black families and get
from the jump.
Right, and get the black man out of the household, because a lot of those situations where if you had a man in the household, you wouldn't receive any kind of assistance. And even like now, even New York is one of the main places that has probably one of the biggest places that have assistance, like government assistance that really help people. But at the same time, men, I noticed like there are way more women shelters than there are men shelters, right? And so it's like for men, it's like we're supposed to pull up our bootstraps and get to work. And this is why it's sometimes harder for men to even get government assistance in certain instances. But I just feel like
it wasn't set up for men. So,
right,
and especially depending on what state that you in, they really stress the fact that it's a woman oriented assistance. You know what I mean? Because they're more preferable. And I'm not saying that the women need it more or less. What I'm just simply saying is the way that it was created was to help women. Well, women can get health care faster than a man can. If you're a single man as opposed to a single woman, they'll put you on there faster, whether you got kids or not.
Right. Yeah.
But I
just want to fit. Let me just finish. I just want to say, so, I'll close out here. I just want to, so my whole thing is that these things that have been set up in the United States in the urban community, I just feel like we have it's enabled us, and we just rely on it too much. And this is why, we're probably the most affected by these,
shit,
Good
So
shit,
man. So I want to give y'all I didn't mean cut you off there. I want to give you a percentage because that's what I was over here doing, is looking this stuff up. So based on the percentages, people that's receiving SNAP, and this is as of 2023, it said the percentages, white people are receiving 62.7% of the EBT. White that's non-Hispanic is 39%. Black people make up 27%. Asian people make up 3.8%. So, and Hispanic, it says Hispanic, any race, makes up 27%. So it looks like blacks and Hispanics are actually neck and neck. They tied at 27%. And white people at 62.7%. And I think what we do is we see probably a lot of white people in these larger states and big cities. But most of the white people that's on it are actually coming from more of your southern states that did vote for Trump. But it's southern states, not even in Georgia. It was like Oklahoma and Kentucky, all those type of places that's receiving it. West Virginia, which we know is one of the poorest. Also Ohio. Those are like one of the top 10 states. And those are predominantly white people in those states.
Well,
wow.
I mean,
I
think. No, what I was gonna say was, man, I think that beyond the fact of people abusing it, that it's all part of a fucking bigger plan, bro. Like, they know how that's gonna affect certain people. You know what I'm saying? And like we talked about a couple of shows ago, when they were doing the whole immigration thing and the whole night. This is all part of the fucking plan, man. You know what I mean? It's a divide and conquer plan. As the way that it's being rolled out. And like I told y'all then, it started with the deportation of the immigrants. We're gonna start chopping down the numbers. This is how they're looking at it. They're gonna start chopping down the numbers. Then now what we're gonna do is, how do you affect somebody's livelihood? Well, you take away their resources. Take away their resources, right? So as the people that we talked about who have took advantage and have stayed on for so long, yes, they have put themselves in a situation to where they're dependent on government assistance to get by with their day-to-day life. For the people that really needed it, they're just fucked. It ain't nothing else going on, you know. I mean, if they because in the eyes of the way that they rolling out they plan, they don't mind. They're willing to sacrifice a couple of their own in order to get the bigger picture rolled out to the version of what they want. You understand what I'm saying? Because in my opinion, I think that when you do something so abruptly, it's the reaction that you'll be waiting for when something like that happens. Anytime something happens abruptly, it causes a landslide. It causes an earthquake. It causes a shakeup. It ruffles feathers, right? So I'm looking at it like this. They already started with the immigration with the Hispanics. Now they're going to start getting into the inner core of the country with whoever's dependent on assistance. Okay, boom, we're going to shut them down. Now, what does that do? That takes away the middle to the lower class, right? they already separating themselves because the motherfuckers with money, shit, Trump been fucking, cut the taxes, higher taxes or better taxes for people in the higher tax brackets. It's just a process of elimination, piece by piece by piece by piece by piece, to where they can basically run with the landscape how they want to. When you start eliminating people's resources and their ability to be able to pay for their food, pay for their medical, pay for their living expenses, you chopping away at the knees. You understand what I'm saying? You chopping away at the knees. That's the quickest way for the body to fall. You know what I'm saying? Like you are people who enabled themselves will now be a part of the ultimate goal. And I feel that the ultimate goal is a dictatorship. We are looking at the makings of a dictatorship. This is what happens in them other countries, right? In them other countries, they're limited to the resources that they can have available. Why is that? Because if I can limit you, then I can control you. You feel what I'm saying? If I can limit you, I can control you. Now, motherfuckers who's been making it, been surviving, or motherfuckers who've been on it and know how to maneuver afterwards and the whole nine, they're gonna be all right. Because as long as they still doing what they got to do on their day to day, it's not gonna be that many other people getting knocked down. But the people who've been, like my man said, living off that shit for 15, 20 years, motherfuckers who got the Section 8, nigga, never, and had 3 generations of kids that lived in the bricks all the way through, like, they're gonna be the ones that suffer the most at the end of the day, because they haven't put themselves in a position to advance. If you aren't up and going with financial literacy or some type of education, a higher institution education, if you haven't established yourself with a good trade, if you are not somebody who's had longevity at their job, it's gonna start tumbling down. We're gonna see the reaction to all of this, and like I told you earlier, Biz, they want people to jump bad by this reaction, right? The reaction they're looking for is to get people to get turned up and go out here and do a bunch of reckless ass shit, because now not only did we take away your resources, now we got a reason to lock you up.
Yeah. And I feel you on that. Hey, I was looking at the Section 8 thing too, and looks like the numbers on the Section 8, it said 45% of black households have Section 8, 32% are white.
No, 45% of the people on Section 8 are black households, not 45% of the black households are on Section 8.
Yeah, 45% of black households.
That's a big difference, nigga.
Yeah, 32% for white, 21% for Hispanics, and only 2% for others, which is probably Asian, Indian, that kind of deal.
You know what, too? I think for the viewers, break down the difference between Section 8 and EBT.
With a housing and housing vouchers, where you niggas only paying $34 a month for rent, and EBT for food stamps. And then you know what the cold thing is? They put it out first, where they was like, you know what, we're gonna take away the sweets, the sodas, and all that. That became a problem. They went crazy over that. Now we're gonna say, no, we just gonna cut all this shit off now. I bet you wish you can get the regular shit now and say fuck them sweets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, real shit.
In New York, they took away, you can't get hot food. So
yeah. So I remember back in the day, EBT, this was about like 20 years ago when I was telling y'all, me and all the people I was kicking with all got the little EBT card barbecuing and shit. Back then, you couldn't buy no hot food with that. We had to buy everything you had to
depends
cook.
where you live at, though. It depends where you live at.
But now I see it's a trend now. You can go to fast food restaurants with an EBT card.
Well,
yeah, not
where
New York.
it depends where you live at, though. In
Yeah,
LA,
New York.
I know in parts of LA, it's like that in LA where you can have your EBT card.
Yeah, New York, you can't buy hot. Like if let's say you want to get cold cuts, you can get cold cuts, but you can't go get a chopped cheese.
Yeah, they can't warm that motherfucker up.
Yeah, you can't get like a hot sandwich. You can't get like fries and you know.
When I was in LA last month, I even seen you can use EBT at the sushi spot. I said, hell nah.
That's crazy. That is wild.
But the Asian people's like, man, we ain't turning no money down. We'll take that too. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, they had it to where you could use your EBT at the goddamn
That's crazy.
At the goddamn department stores and shit.
Yeah. I mean, man, I know that boy Reflex. You got something to say, man, because I knew he was ready to go in because he put all his rings on. Man, go ahead, boy. Bring that energy, man. What's going on? What you think about this shit?
If you want to start a business, invest and give it, partner with a white man, partner with the Caucasian man. If you want to stop a business, partnership and give it to a nigga. Now, if you go to the guaranteed, if you go to the dealership, the IRS is flagged. They already get a flag if you spend, I think, what, 10 grand in cash?
Yeah, 10,000.
If you go to the dealership and you spend 10 grand, you're flagged already. Why would niggas think that they could sell these EBT, these food stamp cards, without them getting flagged? These niggas
you can't.
Fucked up everything.
You ain't gonna get flagged. I just used it last month.
If you needed food that bad, why would you try to flip an EBT card?
Because you got people that
the same thing niggas did with the PPP loans. I didn't see no white people on my social media promoting PPP loans.
So wait. Time out. We giving white people too much credit. White people was doing the PPP. Hold on. White people was doing it, but you know niggas like attention.
Yeah.
Niggas that talk about I shot somebody, look for the attention. Niggas that tell everything they doing wrong. The white people say it like this.
EBT card.
Please believe they was doing it. Please believe they was doing it.
You know what's crazy in New York? You know what's crazy in New York that I found out? First of all, there's in Brooklyn, there's a Hasidic Jewish community that in Brooklyn, and they live in a whole, it's like a whole projects full of them. And I also found out that there's some Jewish people, Hasidic Jewish people on EBT, Section 8 and everything. But the difference with them is that they utilize the system and it still benefits their community. So
and they also live within their means.
Right, that too.
You understand what I'm saying? That'd be niggas' number one problem. Niggas will have an EBT card, a goddamn Section 8, and pull up in a goddamn Maybach, nigga. I mean, that's it be shit like that where that's where the abuse comes. The abuse part comes in at it, and somebody else will take it and capitalize off the shit the right way. Like, I mean, someone who really need it.
And buy lobster tails.
Lobster tails. You understand what I'm saying? Seafood boils every goddamn week. You know what I mean? And it's regular. A motherfucker don't know what to do when they got to spend some real cash. I'm keeping it real. Like, motherfuckers don't know what they got to do when they got to spend some real cash. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to look at it for what it's really worth. And
black people,
we're
the only race that.
Go ahead.
as Black people, we're the only race that I've come to know. We know how to fuck a good thing up, and I'm talking about early, not late, early. If you go with a white guy to an abandoned building, right, and you throw rocks into that abandoned building, when people say who vandalized this building, they're gonna accuse the Black guy of it before they accuse the white guy of it, because we fit the profile. So it goes back to my earlier statement. Yes, Benz, you said you know Caucasian people that were utilizing EBT and PPP at the fullest, but Black people was on the forefront of doing it, and those are the ones I saw that was doing it. We were abusing it. I feel a lot of that abuse.
We the ones that broadcast the shit.
We broadcast it.
We broadcast the shit.
And
it
it was
ain't
so it made it look like we didn't need it.
Yeah,
it made it look like we wasn't hurting for it.
But look, check it out. I ain't never been on my social media and seen somebody saying who's selling stamps or who want to buy some stamps. But Black people, I ain't never seen no. I ain't never seen. Now I'm not saying people don't do it, but all I see is niggas doing that shit.
I just told you 49%. They said the people that's on EBT, right? 49% was white people.
Yeah.
And by you saying that, you had me thinking. I never seen a white person say, "I got these food stamps for sale."
Not one. Not one. We just
they don't even want you to know they own EBT.
Exactly.
It's a secret.
But see, they could be in the trailer park and don't want you to know.
For real.
That's the
and Reno, the #1 trailer park city in the whole world. Did y'all know that?
You said what?
I didn't know
Reno is the #1 trailer park city in the whole country. Motherfucking Reno.
Sun Valley, it is. Yeah. It's
Sun Valley.
Did you get that video? I mean, did you get that thing I sent you? Did you get what I just sent you, Benz?
Oh, hold on, my leg.
Wait, I'm going to jump in because I disagree with your guys' viewpoints. So, because I actually read, that's what I was looking for right now. I actually read, this is like a 2000 and something page. So the reason why it's shut down is because the Democrats wanted to fund like $3 trillion to transgender scooters for transgender groups in another country. They wanted like a couple other million for some other like sex change shit. It was crazy. So that's why they were like, that's why everything shut down, because they were like, well, take this out. The Republicans were like, we're not going to fund this. And then the Democrats were like, well, either leave it in or we're not going to come to an agreement, right? But the problem is not us. We're not, the people are not the problem. The issue here, and I'm telling you because I've been doing some side jobs like to get on the inside to confirm what I thought it was. So let me tell you what's happening. So let's say we have a veterans program and I fund that program $10 billion, right? The funds are supposed to go to the veterans for stuff they need. What is happening is they create, it's like a shell company, or they call it a secondary company that's supposed to designate funds, right? But what is happening is they're not designating the funds. So I'll use medical equipment as an example. Let's say a veteran has no legs, this fool needs like a scooter, right? So let's say I pay $450 for the scooter. So they charge $2,500 to drive the scooter there, $2,500 for labor costs, plus they upcharge on the scooter to like 3 bands, 4 bands, depending on which one it is. And that's what's going on. So they're embezzling the funds. So let's say out of $100 billion that's funded for people, maybe like $2 billion is going to the people. The rest of it, they can't allocate for it in the county. So and it's across the board. It's with housing, with the veterans sector. This is across the board. So that's what's happening.
It is our fault. No, you said
I mean, some of it is, but it's very minimal compared to the numbers. If you compare
it is our
numbers,
fault. You know why it's our fault? No, you know why it's our fault? How many loan businesses do we have in Vegas? How many loan businesses do you have where you live at, where you reside at?
There's a lot.
She got a lot. They on every corner too.
A lot. That's baked. EBT was baked. PPP was baked. We took the bait.
EBT enables people to be lazy.
So that's your. If somebody puts something out there if somebody puts something out there to put you in a certain position where they can dominate you, it's your fault.
But it's
We
not
took the bait
necessarily,
of
I
the
mean, it's like
EBT
killing 10
cards. We
birds with
got
one
too
stone.
comfortable. We got too comfortable with it. We got too comfortable with it, like the rest of the gentlemen on the panel said, and we didn't utilize it as a temporary service.
No, well,
We
hold
looked
on.
at
We're
it
not
as
in
something
control
that
of
was
those
going to be
funds. That's why
continued.
the government is in control of those funds. So that's their fault. Do you think that they're going to let just everybody, I know people that's been on EBT for 10, 20 years with no handicaps, 2 kids, talking about they don't got daycare. Think about it. Do you think they really give a shit? They don't care, because as long as they're keeping in their pockets, they don't care.
Let me ask you a question. Why are there so many loan companies in broke residencies?
Because negotiable instruments, that's how the commercial system works. That's how they duplicate money.
No,
Yes, it is.
you're
For
talking
every,
in
yes, it is. That is for real. For every negotiable instrument,
put it in
it
layman's
duplicates
terms.
like
Put
up
it
to
in
10
layman
times that amount.
terms.
That's
No,
why.
you have to put it in layman terms. Do you know what layman terms mean?
Look, when you get a loan, you sign a promissory note or an agreement. That agreement is legal tenure under the law. It's legal tenure. So if I
But
hand
you're
you this
not answering the
agreement, let's say I have
question.
this agreement, I have you sign it, I go
You
deposit
didn't
this
answer
in the
my
bank.
question.
It doesn't matter
No,
though.
you didn't answer
That's
my
how the
question.
system works.
I said, why are so many loan companies in the most impoverished places?
Because obviously, because they're targeting individuals that are lower income. That's what I think. Because you don't see fucking loan places in the nice neighborhoods. You don't see that
No,
shit
you
in the
don't.
bougie
No,
places.
you
Hell
don't.
no.
Because they know they don't need it. That's what I'm saying. They
So
targeting
that's
the
why they set up
audiences.
like these payday loan, whatever bullshit, because they know people are gonna eat that shit up.
No, but y'all got to remember. First of all, let's be clear about something. The reason that you don't see those type of loan places or check cashing places or things like that in certain areas is because in other areas they're going to their regular bank to get a loan. They're not going to a loan place, right? That has special,
Well, they don't need loans because they have credit cards and stuff like that.
But that is the loan. But that's the loan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they go, they get loans, they get business loans, they get approved for business loans, they get approved for personal loans faster than somebody with no assets, with nothing to, right? So if you have something for collateral, you could go to a bank and get a loan. The problem is that most people in urban communities don't have any collateral to get certain loans. So this is why these loan places are set up. They are set up for you to fail because they expect you not to pay it back, and then the interest rate is like stupid high. But
it is.
But middle class to rich, they're going to the bank. They have the credit. They have, they're not getting redlined. They're not, all these things, and they have collateral to get these loans. But you don't
need collateral.
No, I'm saying for the banks. For the banks,
for any loan, you don't need anything.
No, you don't. But if you have
credit, they're already insured. They're already insured.
Yeah,
you don't even need a credit score. I promise you. That's why I be reading a lot. You don't need none of that. If you apply for a loan and they deny you, all you got to do is send them a fucking letter and say, "Hey, under USC, this law, this is what it says. You guys, I submitted an app. You guys denied it. They'll give you a credit. Boom. Promise you. Try it. I swear to God.
Yeah, but
this is real shit.
But Steph, listen. You're saying something that I'm sure 95% of the urban community doesn't know. Right.
I know that.
Right. So that's why you won't see these type of loan places in middle class to rich communities because they don't need that.
Okay, let me say something. I couldn't contest what she said because my phone was going in and out, so that's why I went quiet. It wasn't because I didn't have an answer for it. Let me ask you guys, have you guys seen any blood banks in white residential areas?
No.
Any blood banks?
No.
Or plasma banks, because they're
Yeah, you talking
they're
about them
there too.
plasma spots.
Plasma,
No, they don't
same
be in the
thing,
white people
right?
area.
There's a reason why. The algorithm, they keep it in the poverty areas, the black community areas, because those they don't get from those loans is already insured. Do you have information to dispel what I'm saying? Do you see any plasma locations in your area, Steph?
No, I don't. But I live in the cuts, so no. I live way in Egypt.
Have you ever asked yourself why?
There's some. Well, there's some in town. There are some in town.
Okay, these are mouse traps. So I'm gonna put it in layman's terms. Layman's terms means put it in the most stupidest and
I know what
simplest
layman's
way that a
terms
dummy
means.
can understand.
I know
Okay,
what
so
layman's
these are
terms
mouse
means.
traps.
God damn it!
Loan companies, you didn't answer it though. Loan companies are mouse traps. Plasma, businesses and buildings are mouse traps. PPP loans, and they knew we was gonna fall for it with the COVID because they knew was the majority of black people was gonna try to pursue the dollar, and the quickest way to make a dollar with PPP. Same thing with EBT and food stamps. I was on food stamps for a while, and it helped, but I never got comfortable with it. It just didn't sit right. I knew I had to
I wish I
figure it
could get
out
some food stamps.
because I knew it was gonna come. Well, you should have capitalized, but I legally, but I knew it was gonna come to an end. I knew it's gonna come to an end. Now that I've been off of it for a good 3 years, I'm sitting good to where I can look back and say, thank God that I'm not gonna succumb to what the majority of my fellow black people are going to go through. It's about to get bad for I want to say a good 80% of African American homes, and I don't want to
I
keep
don't
making
think
it
so.
about black folks, but for the most part, it is. This is going to hit hard. This is especially going to hit hard for the single mothers
It's
because
not going to stay.
they've
It's not going to stay
disconnected.
like that.
Wait, let me finish. I'm almost done. It's definitely going to hit hard for the single mothers because they've disconnected and removed the strongest part of their existence, and that's the black male. That's the man. And it's going to hit hard for them because they don't have that powerhouse to make it happen outside of what the government was aiding and abetting them to do. So
Fred,
now they accepted the government, that the female has accepted the government as her trick. And they shouldn't have never done it.
You absolutely right on that, right?
They shouldn't have
the
never
reason
done
the reason I want EBT to go away and Section 8, because I think it's actually going to be the opposite of what you're saying. I think it's going to help black families because now it might encourage her to go back to her goddamn baby daddy. You see, now it's going to get rid of that I don't need no man attitude. Yeah, you do. Now you need them.
Yeah, but it's
because you
fake
can't buy
love
no
though.
food to
Yeah,
feed
but
the family.
it's fake love though.
It
No,
don't
it's not.
matter.
There's so many
We all
benefits.
do it
It's
every
so
day.
unhealthy to be locked in your house all day.
It don't matter.
Just collecting government funds. Like there's so much more things to do out there that they could be doing it. If they can get out there and get a job, but they'll be productive. Their mental health will be better. They'll be active. It's just a lot better in so many different ways.
Look, regardless if they did have a job, that still will keep women still single. It's back to what 80 said earlier, and you also said it, Reflection. You said when they have EBT and Section 8, then it was put in place to tear up the black family. Okay, so if Trump is trying to get rid of this shit, what do you think is going to happen?
It's going
you can't be so quick to run off, and you can't have the attitude, I don't need a man. Because now you took the government as your man. You kicked your baby daddy out, but then you married the government instead. That's all you did.
Well, I think it was created to embezzle money. That's what I think. But I think it's going to be a lot better than people are anticipating. And I know it's challenging because when you're I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to keep this shit all the way a buck. If you're a motherfucker that's been on fucking housing and EBT and you ain't worked and you ain't handicapped, bitch, swerve. I don't feel bad for you. I'm sorry.
No,
it is what it is. I do not feel bad. I don't care. I don't care who it is. That's just out of
Stephanie ain't never had no black boyfriend
before.
Stephanie ain't never had no black boyfriend. Bro.
A lot of people that was on EBT had jobs. A lot of people.
And that's different. If you're working, and you need help, that's fine. You don't even count. We're not even talking about them. We're talking about the fucking freeloading ass lazy ass bum people. That's what this is about.
But
That's
this
part
is
of the
the-
problem. The
this
people
is the
that's
thing,
working, they're not part of the problem because they pay into the system.
Hey,
They pay taxes.
hey, Rail, tell her they still out there working, or they figured out a loophole, or some out there hustling, really getting money.
So this
They
is
not
the
broke.
5 bands a month is crazy.
They not
That's-
broke.
but this is the other thing too. I think also this is the other problem that we're having, right? There's another problem that's going on at the same time. We are in America right now, I think in the world period, because of all these different things that are in place, even with as far as social media, as far as like EBT, Section 8, content creation, all these type of things. Everybody want to be a music artist, all these different things, right? There is a overwhelming demand for plumbers, electricians, HVAC. And these are all things that can't be done by a robot. Now, as far as the, people, a lot of people, and I get it. I like right now in this day and age with what I see.
Nobody is educated for those things.
Hold on.
The majority of your average guy, your average 30-year-old don't know nothing about electrician.
But right, I don't know nothing about electrician. I was in construction, but that's something that has to be taught. But what I'm saying is this, like Benz is saying, maybe this may direct people into put people in a different direction.
You only gonna have two choices. It's either you're gonna sink or swim.
Right.
And at the end of the day, that's kind of what that boils back down to. It's either when your back is against the wall, you got to make a decision.
Right. So if we need 500,000 plumbers in the world, right, or electricians, now you have to go get that trade, because even there's a lot of jobs that are going to be wiped out because of AI and because of robotics, right? And so even what I do Uber and Lyft. They already have the cars driving around scanning the city, right? Yeah. They already have the self-drive. They have the cars. There's cars with cameras all around it scanning New York City as we speak. I've driven by them numerous times already. There's going to be an influx of jobs that are going to be wiped out clean.
They're already wiping them out.
Right.
They're already wiping them out. You can't even go to a store without the self-checkout.
If you go to McDonald's right now, you hitting the screen. You
straight on the kiosk.
Not even a cashier anymore, right? Like
But AI's still not as smart as a human's brain. Like they're not as fast as we are.
But
no matter how much they try.
But here's the thing, Steph. You gotta look at it like
that is true.
You gotta look at it like this. Whatever they can create to, because remember, now if there's no Section 8, there's no EBT, right? And now there's also no low income jobs. There's no because I even seen I follow John Hope Bryant. He showed a video of a coffee shop that was all robotic, no humans at all, right? So this is the thing. As things progress, right? This is why the urban community needs Home Depot right now. Home Depot, if you look it up right now, Home Depot is doing free training, and you get a certified license for electricians, plumbers, and HVAC.
We didn't know that. You need to post that on your social media.
Yeah, I didn't know nothing about that.
I didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
And there's grants too for a school. I'd be taking advantage of all of that.
Right.
People need to take
No,
advantage,
but
like straight
there's
up.
a reason. There's a reason why they're doing that. There's a reason why they're doing that, and you got to make sure when you give that information out, if you trying to help us or help the people, make sure you give the like. They're trying to change the cap on the sound
He's running out of minutes.
now.
Well, you're
So
breaking up real bad. We can't even make out what you're saying.
Yeah. Hey, you need to post that, real. Don't
Can
forget.
you hear me?
he
You're breaking up.
he still got AOL.
Oh, yeah.
They got
I
dial
got
up.
that CD. And when I used to come in the mail for free.
But the reality is this, man. When you force somebody's hand, they're forced to make a decision. And
Yeah.
and you might be right. I really didn't take the time to look at it like that. But now that we discussed it, it might be for the benefit of more than other. Because if you don't want it, you just don't want it. If a motherfucker tell you we finna take your whole livelihood away from you, and you don't find a way to make it in a better direction, then that means you never really wanted it from the jump. So and that
But
goes
think
for
about the
everybody.
impact of that. You're staying home. Our kids are a product of their environment. So you got these parents staying home. It's just passing on that same toxic ass shit, right? Teaching them to do the same shit. No, we want our kids to be successful and productive members of society. So that's one thing on top of the mental health and all of that, even bonding with your kids. Like, people that are on housing and all that, I don't see them going out there with their kids nowhere. They don't take their kids out to go play ball. They ain't out there teaching them how to ride a bike. I think just overall the mental health and the communication and all that, I think it's going to help on all sectors of that. You know what I mean? I really do believe that.
It goes back to what 80's saying is what he's saying about you have to make a choice, because what I truly think that this government is kind of banking on, the part that I think they're banking on is that the urban community will go in the wrong direction. Which will
I think Trump believes in the people. I don't think he thinks that.
Which will cause it will make the urban community go in the wrong direction, which will make a lot of people look for fast money, and by looking for fast money, it will create a lot of arrests, and then those arrests, these jails are privately owned now, and now they're getting cheap labor, super cheap labor.
But think about this. Look at all the. I've seen so many people get arrested for drug trafficking, and it's like the people like higher ups, mayors are getting raided. Like there's people are getting arrested for drug trafficking, human trafficking, like on mass scales. You just don't see it in the news, but it's been crazy. Like for 4 months straight. Like I'm talking mayors, even here locally. One of the Reno PD, the chief, whatever the hell, he got popped too for the same shit like 3 days ago or something. Like, so there's moves going on in the background, and that's what I'm telling y'all. Like
the ultimate, right? But the ultimate goal is free labor. That's the
no, I don't think that's the case.
But they have to work their way to it. Yes, they are. They want the chain gangs. They're after the chain gangs for sure. But before they get to that level, they want us to accept the jobs that they're giving us. And they don't want to pay us out anymore. They're not trying to raise the payout level at all. They want you to accept that McDonald's job and work your heart out at that McDonald's job.
No.
They don't want you to come to that McDonald's job every day asking
Do
for
y'all
another
remember
raise.
when you guys were saying about Trump taking all the Black history out of the library, right? And I think it was Legend who brought that up. The reason why he did that wasn't to try to erase history. The reason why he did that is because history's been hijacked from everybody, and those books are a fucking lie. And all it does is gaslight you. If I go through trauma and I keep reminding you of it,
I didn't have no input. I didn't have no input on him doing that because I knew he wasn't affected.
That ain't why they try to take the Black history
that
out
is
the history
why.
books and everything else. They try to take it out the school districts. They try to take it out of anywhere where we can gain some knowledge of it. And the reason why is because they do not want us to know our history. It ain't
that is not real history. I swear to you. All the shit that we've been told is a fucking lie. I promise you.
No,
it's a lot of shit that we were told was a lie, but when it comes to the Black
everything
culture,
we've been told is a
you
lie.
think
we know that. That's what he's saying.
Let me give you this. Let me just give you this tidbit real quick. Let me just say this, and when in perspective of that, when you hear we here in the United States, and when you break down all the different races that are here in the United States, everyone has a fucking origin of where their culture comes from, except for us. We the only ones We the only ones. Like it ain't. There's
There's a reason why.
Hold on, listen. In the Asian communities, the Asians stick together. They still eat Asian dishes. They still do Asian tradition. They still speak Asian. They buy Asian. They do all that. The Hispanic community, they still speak Spanish. They buy from the Hispanics. Their living environment is all with Hispanics, and they're still in their culture. Black people don't have a fucking culture. That's why when the Africans come in here, they don't like us. They don't like us because we don't share. Hold on. I don't know not one black person that speaks African that's not from Africa. I'm just keeping it real. We are the only culture that does not have any sense of our real origin of fucking culture. Like we think for black people it's we cook soul food and we sing it together. That's the shit that we was fucking taught as slaves. So if you had people up here from different ethnicities as we've had before, they could track back to their roots. They can tell you about they Nima,
supposedly.
But for the most part they can't. I mean, you're Asian. You don't have any Asian descendants in this.
I want to talk about this so fucking bad, but I can't do it without going completely left. But I promise.
No.
I think your view. I understand what you're saying, but I think you're viewing it wrong. I think you need to be asking why that is because there's a reason why.
I know why, because they want us to not know our own identity. All right.
Because did you know that brown people were the first people on this fucking planet?
Okay.
For real?
Okay, just listen to me.
Not brown, black.
You're not black, you're brown.
It was black.
Listen.
It's okay to say black.
Our identities have been stripped from us. So we don't
completely.
So hold on. So what we think is culturally something that's been traditional culture, it's not really traditional culture. It's what the fuck we were taught when we were slaves. We don't even carry our own fucking last names. Any black person that you know that their black name didn't originate from fucking Africa. It originated from the slave owners that had motherfuckers here. Like we the only ones that you could pull up any other fucking race. If
you
it's
want me to
Martinez,
tell you why though, for real?
If it's Rodriguez, Martinez, that's really who their family was in Mexico.
So Steph,
no, that's not though, because what happened is when the Britain came to colonize everything, they made groups forget their languages. Even they did all sorts of shit. The reason why you don't know your history is because they traded spots with y'all and put their. That's literally what it is. They traded spots with y'all, and that's your real history.
That's the point of them erasing the history, because
they
if we don't know,
they traded spots.
But they are erasing the history, because if you take a whole culture of people and you strip them of their whole identity, I just told you, I guarantee you right now, you got a couple of people in your family that speak the language from where you originally come from. I guarantee you do. I don't know.
I do, but that's not their original language, is what I'm trying to tell you.
But just listen to what I'm saying though. It roots back to the origin of your ethnicity or your culture or your race.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We can't say that.
Okay, I'm gonna give you an example.
I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I totally understand you. But what I'm trying to explain is there's the reason why the history, it's not that they erased it. They just literally swapped characters. So the people they tell you that are Jews, those are not, I promise. But dude, start with the simple ass Google search and ask the question, how come African Americans history has been erased? And it'll take you slowly to your answer. But I promise you, your history's there. It's just we got a bunch of acting ass people trying to act like they're the rightful Jews and this and that. That's not the reality. I can't make this shit up. Look this shit up.
No, Steph, I think you're missing the point of what he's saying. The point of what he's saying is that here in America right now, right? What's your nationality? Vietnamese. You will still, with your family, eat. Y'all still eat, whether you were born here in America or not. Y'all will still eat. Let me finish. You will still eat Vietnamese food. You will still have Vietnamese dishes.
Traditional dishes.
We as African Americans, we do not make jollof rice.
No, he keeping it real though. He keeping it all the way real.
And couscous.
And right, we don't. Right, we cassava. We don't eat. We don't none of that. We don't cook that. That's not ours.
I don't even know what that is.
Right, exactly. and you know why I know? You know why I know? Because I'm in a state where I see, right?
Yeah.
The only reason that me myself I know my nationality and my culture is because of my great grandparents. My great grandfather, we was eating West Indian dishes. I still eat West Indian dishes. I still eat saltfish, and stuff like that because I know my West Indian culture. But a lot of people, this is a girl said this to me once before. She said, "Yo, what's your nationality?" I said, "I'm black." She said, if you tell me you're black, you don't know your history." I said, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry, because I know my history." I said, "I'm West Indian. I'm from West Indian roots." I said, "My great-grandfather was from the British Virgin Islands, and my great-grandmother was from Barbados. And on my father's side, my grandfather was from Grenada, right? So I'm like 75% West Indian, Caribbean roots. But I know my food, like I know, right? But fried chicken, collard greens, candy yams, macaroni,
fucking killings and shit.
that shit is not black. That shit is not African roots.
No.
That shit is all American.
All the food is African roots. That's your roots. What I'm trying to tell you is
that ain't our roots. He just said
no,
I'm being so serious because literally think about it. If all the people do a Google search and just look this up, you're not going to find no white people. I promise you. So what I'm trying to explain to you is the way it used to be is there used to be tribes. So there was a little bit of fluctuations in those tribes, but it was all brown people.
Fried chicken.
I get what you're saying. You're saying I get.
So our history is not even real. It's whatever they told us it was.
Listen, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, right? Because you're speaking almost of a sense of a millennial right now, right? Excuse me.
This is the reality.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying of a sense of we are in a time now where you can Google a lot of information. A lot of information is
you can't
coming
really trust
out.
all that shit either. Yeah.
A lot of information is coming out now about African American involvement in the United States, right? And this is what 40 is saying is even the word African American don't even make sense because, right, when you say Asian American, you will still go to an Asian family's house and they still doing Asian traditions in the house. Exactly. We don't do African traditions.
That was the point I was trying to make.
They just started. We just started celebrating Kwanzaa, right? Kwanzaa wasn't. We wasn't celebrating.
I got one better for you, Real. You got Africans that moved here, right? Nigerians, Ethiopians, all that.
Right.
Yeah.
How come you call black people that's originally from America, born here, you want them to say we African American? When Africans that come here that are citizens now, we don't call them African Americans. We still call them Africans.
The majority of them do not like us.
But every race that lives in the United States can trace their roots back. What he's saying, Steph, except for black people that live in America. There is no tracing. It's going to come to a dead end somewhere. It's going to stop. We don't know. You can call yourself
but you should ask why.
White people, how come white people call themselves European?
It was set up for us to not know.
Okay,
it was set up for us. It was hold on. It was set up for us to be brainwashed under the act of what they wanted it to be. That's the reason that we was put in that situation from the jump. If you can erase somebody's history, erase their beliefs, erase their culture, then what do?
Language, religion, everything.
Everything.
You got black people out here talking about they're Christian in America, which was originally a white person religion. Not knowing over there in West Africa, Christianity wasn't even a religion of Africans over there.
Here's
You know what
another
I'm saying? It wasn't.
Here's another thing that people, and this is just something.
You don't know.
This is something simple. Another thing that people don't realize, even when you was in school, even all the maps, the globe, right? The maps of the world, the globes, and everything. They always made the United States bigger than Africa on these maps. You can look this up. All the maps and globes in the United States have United States bigger than Africa.
When Africa's bigger,
way bigger
continent
than the United States.
Yeah,
way bigger. You know, so it's a whole thing that now you can look stuff up and you can find stuff about Black history. You can find that, matter of fact, you can find that it was African Americans that made just about everything in the United States that we use to this day.
Mm-hmm.
I just
I want to
posted
topic
that.
though. I mean, I want to
what's even
get
worse?
back on subject though. Have you niggas ever been to a museum and seen a slave ship?
Nope.
All we ever seen was a picture in a book talking about this how slaves got transported here.
Because they don't exist. Because it's not true. Because none of that shit's true. They hijacked
Well,
it.
it is true.
Swear to you.
No, it's true.
He had to get here.
It's true. It's true. Steph, you missed what Floyd was trying to educate you on before you disappeared.
Yeah.
You misunderstanding.
One, we're the only race of people in the United States that cannot say where we're from. Every race that lives in the United States can trace their roots back to where they're from. Yeah. Even when you ask white people where they're from, even though I see a lot of Asian women who date white guys, they always say, "Who are you dating?" I got an American boyfriend. What the fuck is American? They take an American associating it with white. Why are you doing that? These white people don't say I'm European American. A white person could tell you I'm German, I'm Irish, they can tell you whatever the fuck they are. I can't tell you where that. I can't tell you none of that shit. None of us on here could tell you that.
I can't.
And I understand that. I understand that.
Well, this nigga say he from Barbados, like he Rihanna or something, but Black people had to come from somewhere before they got to Barbados.
No, but here's
no. Well, hold on. But they do have like Spanish, like Afro-Spanish, Afro-Latin. You know, it's Hispanics that are Black like us, like, you know what I mean? So
Puerto Ricans. But
here's the thing. But Ben, here's what you got to understand. This is why they made such a big deal about the whole thing with Christopher Columbus, because they were like, how did you discover something when people were already there?
Already fucking there.
And that's the thing. There was already people in the Caribbean when he got there. There was already people in the United States when he got here. You know, like
there's a lot of unknown transportation that it took place to get certain people where they're at, and where people have been known, you know, quote unquote, to actually be from. But it was a lot of integration that created a lot of these races, and it just depended on what boats landed where and who was on the boat when it landed. I mean, we'll never know the truth because none of us was ever around.
Here's the crazy part. There are,
but I feel that that women get caught in the indulgence of getting this support. That's why they increase their numbers in childbirth.
Wait, you broke up like it was
for financial reasons.
If you just said that women have kids for EBT, you are crazy. You're tripping hard.
I said financial reasons. Yes.
No, there are some.
That was part of the reason.
Steph.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you double it up? It's like a drug dealer.
You guys really think women have kids to get EBT?
Steph, there are.
No.
Steph, we gotta get you some Black friends so you can know this.
Yes, most definitely.
Steph ain't got no. Listen, y'all. I don't want y'all going too hard on Stephanie. She do not have any Black friends. Okay. So,
yes, I do.
No, you don't. You kick it with Mexicans. You kick it with Mexicans, and you kick it with white people that want to be Mexican. You don't got no Black friends.
Yes, I do. I really do.
No, you don't.
I do. I actually have a lot.
She knows some friends. Black people, but them ain't her friends. It's a difference.
Come on, friend.
She kick it with Mexican people and she kick it with white people that want to be Mexican. That's what she kick
No,
it
that's
with.
just how Reno is. It's not
No,
that.
that Reno ain't like that.
We know,
Yes,
I know
it
some white
is.
people out there that want to
I
be
used to live
black.
in Reno.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that you know, even in Asia, there's even history of like Asians as dark as us, right, and there's history of that too. But this whole system, right, and this is what we always got to remember and step. You know, I don't want you to be naive to this. The fact of the matter is that the American system is set up for it's set up for us not to progress as people.
Yes.
It's set up for the urban community to not progress as people. So all these systems in place, this EBT and Section 8 thing, we are so, first of all, that the urban, and I don't want to say, I'm not even going to say African American, the urban community is so far behind. Is so far behind in so many different financial and education statuses,
aspects,
right? And we are the most affected by things like no EBT, no Section 8. Now, I really feel it like there's gonna be that fork in the road.
Yeah.
It's gonna call it's so I mean, listen, right now, right? We have an abundance of scammers that we've never seen before, right? We've had a bunch of people thinking that they, you know, it's a lot of kids out here with Beamers and Benz and, you know, and all kinds of luxury vehicles and Gucci and Louis and jewelry, right? And this is, and I'm, you know, I know when we were younger, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, me and Fred was running around with our boy Dustin in a goddamn, what was that? A Honda hatchback. You know what I'm saying? You muted, Benz.
Honda Accord hatchback.
Honda Accord hatchback. You know what I'm saying? Right. There's kids that's our age now that these kids are in luxury vehicles. You know what I'm saying? But you know, at the end of the day, they know the one thing that they know that the urban community is behind. They know that. And they also know that, like 80 said, when the back's against the wall, you're gonna make a decision. You're gonna go left or you're gonna go right. And they're banking on a lot of
left.
people
9 times out of 10, we're going left.
They're banking on that because one, this will pretty much wipe out the urban community almost, right? And now it's either once that happens, right? It's like, all right, well, what the rest of y'all going to do? Because if y'all don't listen,
it's sink or swim. It's sink or swim.
But if you, but it's with the people at the top, it's simple mathematics. If you're trying to herd a group of cattle in one direction, you want to send them, and they create that one direction, and they created that with the EBT card.
Right.
They created that one direction, and the majority of the Negro population flowed in that herd in that one direction.
If you don't
so
get out
it
of
was easy for them to do that.
The Negro population.
Bro, this Negro and color.
I have to, I because we're gonna be the biggest ones that's gonna suffer for it. Like we're gonna be the biggest ones that's gonna be paraded across the news and through the media.
If we don't make the right decisions, so
it's too late to adjust it now. Now we have to pay the piper.
No.
It's like we already.
No, I believe. I think they're gonna. I think you're wrong. I think
late.
they're gonna do a comeback, and y'all are gonna be like, "Whoa, that was crazy." But
you know how many people? You know how many people's on Section 8?
I believe
you know how many people? You know how many people? You know how many people's on Section 8? Too many.
That's what. That's besides the point. The bottom line is the Section 8's about to be gone. So I believe that people are gonna have a better quality of life. and they're gonna come through. You're gonna see.
But
And that's what it's going to boil down to. That's what it's going to boil down to, though. It's going to boil down to.
Yeah,
It's going to
like
boil down to
AD
who.
said.
It's going to boil down to who wants what and what they want to do with it. That's it. Because if you let somebody control your situation, then you're up under whatever it is that they want you to be up under. Now, unfortunately, Unfortunately, we already know that there's a nice majority of people who have got so comfortable with government assistance, with Section 8, with food stamps, with Medi-Cal, and all that they've got so comfortable with it that it's going to be traumatic for them if they can't receive benefits. People are going to be there. People are going to go through traumatic spells behind this shit. But let's just keep it real, man. It's 2025. If you're not inclined at any point in time in your life to do better than what's been provided to you by somebody that you already know is dictating your next move, then you deserve to fall off.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it all the way real. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
And even the Medicaid, think about it. The service they're getting for their
whatever.
insurance, that's like trashy ass bottom of the barrel service, anyways.
No,
they're
because I'm
doing
gonna
it
tell you
this
why.
down.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. It's motherfuckers that get out of prison, bro. They get out of prison. I'm talking about niggas that just did 8-year bids, 10-year bids, 15-year bids, and go start brand new trucking businesses and hop right back in the same taxpayers brackets as everyone else who's been free. Who've been free. Think about this.
Time. They had time.
And so did the motherfucker that had rent
when
free
you're
for
out
15
here,
years.
when you're
the
out
motherfucker
here,
that had rent for $58, nigga, for 10 straight years, they had nothing but time.
But they're not in a race. There's a rat race out here. There's not a rat race in prison.
Well, I'll tell you like this, man. Unfortunately, if you too lazy to get your ass up and go work 40 hours a week and pay them taxes and do what you're supposed to do, then you're fucked. And that's going to be on the individual.
If you look at the unemployment rate, yes, it's a lot of lazy motherfuckers.
Here's what we gotta remember.
Hey, listen, man, I don't get food stamps, and I did before, and now, and in the years that went by since I ain't got food stamps, nigga, I done had to pay like everybody else. Nigga, I pay my taxes like everybody else. Nigga, I got 401k and health insurance like everybody else. So I don't really give a fuck. At the end of the day, nigga, when I go to the grocery store, nigga, I gotta pay cash, nigga. So I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who loses goddamn stamps.
Here's the thing, though.
I gotta pay. I gotta pay for my health insurance every fucking check. Every check that come to me.
But you know what separates? But you know what separates you?
So I don't give a fuck, nigga.
But you know what separates your situation is you have internal support. You're not living by yourself.
No, I ain't
you're
had
not
no
a single
fucking
man.
internal
You're not a
support,
single
nigga.
man.
I am the internal
You're not
support,
a single.
Nigga.
You're not an individual. You're not an individual person. You're not either. You have in-house help.
I do not have in-house help. I pay this shit by myself.
So none
I
of
work
your
like a
kids
slave.
working?
I work 2 jobs. I don't have no help from nothing.
None of your kids, Steph, none of your kids are working.
They work, but I don't take their money. That's their money. They're kids. It's my job as a parent to take care of my kids. So I'm not going to charge my kids rent. They're minors. If they work, that's because they're bougie and they want all that bougie shit. I'm not going to do all that. That's just what it is. But I don't take money from my kids. It's my job to take their job.
Okay, so if they didn't have their own money, who money would they have for?
Well, of course, I can provide for them, but that's what I'm trying to explain to you. It's not that I can't provide for them. It's because they want $300. I'm not going to do it. I got a cutoff, $100 max.
Steph,
you know what I'm saying? That's why they work.
You're missing the point.
In this house.
No, you're missing the point of what he's saying. He's saying that your kids go to work, so they have But
they always work though.
No, listen. Here's what I'm saying. What he's saying is that your kids are at an age right now where they work, right?
Not all of them.
Not all, but the ones that do. What he's saying is that all your kids, right, are not relying on you. What he's saying is that your kids, at least, they don't have to always come to you for money. So what that does help you not always having to come out of pocket. So
Well,
Exactly.
it's not
So
that
the
they're
people that's
helping
gonna
you.
hurt is the
It's
people
not that
that's
they're
gonna
helping
hurt
you with
is
the
the people
bills.
that's already first.
It's
I
not that
People
understand
they're
what
that's
you're
helping
gonna hurt
you
saying.
the
with
So
the
you're
bills.
most.
saying
It's just
basically that's I don't have to pay, come out of pocket as much, right? Because
right,
there's I have older kids. I understand what you're
right.
saying,
That's what
but
he
But
said.
I
there is
don't
a system.
look. When
You
I
have
got
a
out of high
system.
school, hold on. When I got out of high school, my parents never took me to no fucking dentist or none of that. I had to pay that shit out of my pocket. So what I have like a little system that I have set up. So it's like trying to set them up for success. So it's like I don't ask them for money. Like I make sure make sure they have their braces and their
No, but
teeth
I'm
are
talking about the
fixed.
people
And
that's
I
gonna
I
succumb.
buy them a car.
I'm
And
talking
like even the
about the
older
people
kids,
that's
I
going
paid for
to.
their college. Like I paid for all that.
I'm
I don't
talking
expect them to pay
about.
for that.
But I'm talking about the people that's gonna succumb to what we're dealing with now, which is a financial
Okay,
crisis.
gotcha.
And that
Yeah.
major financial blow is coming from EBT. If you have internal help in your home, it's not gonna affect you like it is the woman or the man that doesn't have internal help. They have a
Yeah.
child that's eligible to work and get 9 to 5. They don't have a spouse. They don't
But
have a
I don't think the government's just
system.
gonna say, here,
It's
let me
gonna
just
be
completely
different.
shut everything down and like,
But
make you move and do all this
everybody,
extra shit.
Do that.
everybody
Why
who,
wouldn't they
every,
do that? Why wouldn't they do that?
Because why would they build all these housing big ass apartment complexes to just then what? The
Those
building's
are
gonna sit there?
personal
No, that's a
investors.
waste.
Those are personal investors, like they did with COVID. They didn't care. They shut the whole thing down with COVID. They didn't sit there
Yes.
and say, "Are you eligible to make it through COVID?" They didn't say
But
that. Shut the whole thing down.
But
What are you talking about?
reflection. But what I see what she's saying. But the other thing about these people that's building these buildings and and building like low income housing or whatever, new buildings and stuff like that,
Mhm.
they get a tax break. So by them getting a tax break, it's more money for their pockets. It's so it
But it
kind of
still doesn't change
That's
the
not private
ownership. It
investors
still
though.
doesn't
That's the
change the
government.
ownership,
That's
though.
like the HUD or whatever those
It doesn't.
programs
Okay,
are.
look. Okay, look what Bill Cosby is doing. Have y'all followed that?
No,
He's
no.
already sold his second condo in New York City. He's already sold it.
Okay.
When
Okay.
he bought it, he had the monopoly. He had the monopoly on the financial algorithm in New York City.
What
He
does that have
doesn't
to do with
have
housing
that
though?
due to his personal. I'm going to tell you, due to his personal choices, he no longer has that ability to control that financial algorithm. Personal investors and buyers are building these homes in Vegas because they're controlling the financial
nigga look like
algorithm.
an old karate
They
movie when he talking
control.
because his lips is moving. Nigga like an old karate movie when he talking.
But here's what you
They,
gotta understand too.
they're controlling it. They're controlling it. So
Oh
even though
damn!
they
Oh
have
damn!
the insurance and the money they're gonna get back on it, they still have ownership of these homes
But that's the private
here
sector. We're
in
talking public. When
Nevada.
we talk about public or administrative, that's housing, that's government funded, that's public. Those are private investors. They're going to dictate the rental market just as a whole, like for people that pay their rent. That's not going to impact the housing. The housing sector is public funds. It's different.
But
Yes, it
here's
is.
the thing.
How is it not?
Here's the
Because
thing.
that those funds, the things that funds those programs is the government says here we're gonna fund you. You know,
It's
every year they get
taxpayers that
grant, they
fund
get a
that
big ass
shit.
lump sum of money. Every sector does. That's
It's
But
public
here's
funds.
taxpayers. It's
the
taxpayers that fund that shit. That's
Yeah,
why I said. That's
but
why I
here's the
said.
thing.
That's why I said I don't give a
correct.
fuck who don't get no goddamn EBT. Because as a taxpayer, that's where the shit coming from. We
But
paying
Yeah,
for that shit.
here's
We paying for that shit.
here's what y'all gotta realize, and this is what another reason why I say that they're expecting the urban community to go left, and I'm gonna tell you another reason why. Every time when it comes around the holidays, right? This is the crime goes up, suicide rate goes up, all these things go up because people are trying to, right? They're trying
Provoking.
to buy gifts and do and buy, have Thanksgiving and all these different things, right? So they know this is a common thing in the urban community. When they need more money, they do things illegally to get more money, or they go left to get more money, or they just get stressed out and then they take it out on whoever, right? And what happens is now you got crime going up, robbery, suicide, right? All these different things. So if that happens just on a yearly basis, right? Every year around the holidays, this happens. Y'all don't think that you don't think that you take away certain things from the urban community that they're not expecting, not saying it's going to happen, but not that
they're anticipating it.
They're anticipating a certain outcome. Look at when this is happening. This is happening. Thanksgiving is around the corner. It's a month away. They talking about stopping this in November. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this goes on through the holidays, I promise that crime is going to go all the way up.
Definitely.
Suicide is going to be through the roof.
Manipulation and manipulating the system. Financially, it's going to go up. But the part of their scam is they're going to do it through their kids. So it goes back to what I said earlier. They're going to monopolize off of how many kids they have. They're going to start claiming and doing more tax evasion and tax applying to the heads of the house, like how many kids they have in that house. So
Steph,
the hustle's going to go from drugs to the family.
Steph, I'm gonna tell you a guarantee. This is a guarantee, and I'm sure everybody in here can tell you this. In the urban community, you know how many black people use the kids' social security number on stuff to get certain things?
Lights turned on.
No way. Are you for real? Or are you just making shit up?
Steph, this is
real shit.
How though? Like how?
Steph,
you need to stop standing on the front line and need to go get educated.
I know.
But what I'm saying is, how do you use somebody else's social?
Steph,
if you got your kids,
Steph, wait, hold on. How many kids you got?
I have 8 kids.
If you got somebody's social and somebody's birthday, you can damn near turn on any goddamn bill you want to.
All your 8 kids would probably, if you was in the hood and you had a hood mentality, all 8 of your kids would probably have a bill in their name. Telephone bill, cable, electric. I'm telling, this is real. This is real stuff. People,
but don't they check like the birthday, right?
They probably cracked down, but the people figured out ways, and they were using their kids' information.
Yeah,
babies.
That's so jacked up.
I'm talking about you ain't even out of high. You ain't even in high school. I'm talking about
nigga in 7th grade. Nigga in 7th grade with an electricity bill. This
is real.
That's crazy. That is wild shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, but this is the stuff. I'm saying. This is the stuff you don't know. They're like, this is the stuff that has gone on in the hood that you don't know. Like, this stuff really has happened. So this is why when we saying that these people are gonna be affected, they're gonna really be affected because it's gonna be
traumatic for a lot of people. But hindsight, like, I feel sorry for the people that actually do need it and is unfairly being thrown in the basket with everybody else.
Yeah.
But I think specifically for the people who are taking advantage, for the people who have used it as a crutch, for the people who have used it for an excuse to be lazy, for the people who have, for the people who really probably have good talent, maybe have some good work ethic. They just got too comfortable with the shit. I think it's good that they getting cut off the shit. I'm gonna keep it real because what it will do, it will spike the employment rate for the motherfuckers that actually want to get off their ass and go to work. Like I said, it don't matter. It don't matter what color you is. If you a lazy motherfucker, if you got no work ethic, if you have no goals, no ambition, no drive, I think you're gonna be a bum regardless.
I think it's gonna be.
If they were smart, they would have took advantage of the game and went to school and did. I would have took. If I was in their position, I would have took advantage. Went to school and some more shit.
I think it's gonna be a. I think across the board it's gonna be a greater. I think across the board it's going to be a greater failure, and it's going to demolish a lot of homes. A lot of homes because a lot of homes don't have a proper foundation
It will. It's going to destroy.
United States of unification amongst couples. There is no couples now in 20 since what 2023. There's been no solidified couples in the home.
No, it's been
The
longer.
reason why I don't agree with that is because I have 8
It
kids and I
has-
do it by myself. If I can do it, anybody could do it. And if
So
they,
just
if
through
they
my
say
point.
they
But,
can't,
okay,
it's
I know,
a
but
but
bunch
why
of
are
hold
you
on.
BS.
struggling? Why
But
are
listen
you
what you said,
struggling
but
to
listen
do
what you
that
said,
by
though.
yourself with that many kids? How? Why? That makes
What do you
no
mean?
sense. There
What do
has
you
to be
mean?
a reason for that. Why are you struggling to do that by yourself? It's through my
I'm
point.
not struggling. That's what I'm telling you. I
What's
have
going
8
to
kids
succumb
and I
to?
work and I pay my shit. I don't have no help. If I can do it, anybody could do it.
That's not. But that's not a
So,
choice. But that's not a
That
choice lifestyle.
that's not really true though.
Somebody you would think go for and involved with helped you bring those kids to life, right?
Yeah.
You didn't just partner with that person to have kids. Your goal wasn't just to have kids and get rid of that person.
No.
but the point is that. But this
Okay,
the point though.
so what I'm saying is, so what I'm saying is, you're algorithm. There's single parenting that's going to succumb to what's going on right now. It's what I'm saying.
But
I understand what
and
you're. I
that's
mean,
gonna
if you
be the-
consider every other weekend co-parenting, then I mean that's on you. I personally, it's pointless
Yeah,
to me.
because your goal wasn't to be where you're at now. To
But I
all of
don't
us,
mind
not
it.
just to you particular. Your
I
goal.
don't mind it.
Anybody who had a kid, anybody who has a child, they didn't plan on having that child by themselves.
Nobody wants to go
You
and
weren't
have a
looking
kid.
for a
And that's
donor.
what I'm telling y'all. That's why when you guys are like, oh, people have kids for EBT. That's why I'm like flabbergasted because I'm like, hell to the no. I feel like I don't know. People don't go have kids just to be alone. That shit ain't easy.
No, it ain't for EBT. It's to collect. It's not just
Thank
EBT.
you.
It's to collect. So
Thank
whether
it
it's
ain't
child
just to say I'm
support,
gonna get more
Jesus.
whether
EBT.
it's child support, whether
It's to collect.
it's collect.
That's
They're
what
just
we're
collecting.
saying.
Yeah, it's
But
not.
what
It's
I'm
not
saying is,
just for
what I'm
EBT.
saying is now
This
is
is crazy.
there's a lot of homes that's going to succumb to what they're doing now with the
Yeah.
EBT factor because there is no couples together in the home to survive it, to survive this hit. Who's going to survive this hit? Probably one out of every 100 family that's going to survive this hit that's about to come.
I think like 95% of people are gonna make it through. They might struggle real quick, but trust me, they're gonna come out on top. I promise you, for sure.
No, it's not.
I'll tell you like this. I'll tell you like this.
The reason why I partly agree with what Reflection is saying is because we also have to think about mentality, right? And mentality is going to play a big part in this whole thing. And if you don't have a certain mentality, and you have a hood mentality or you have a poor mentality, you're not. A lot of people is not coming out on top.
But it don't matter at that point. It don't matter anyways because that's who you're gonna be. That's the point I was trying to make. It does matter.
It does matter. You know why it matters?
It don't matter. Because let me just tell you why. I'm gonna just keep it real with you. If that person wanted a fucking job, nigga, they would have went and got a job. You think I want to go to work every day? Nigga, do you want to go to work every day?
Why would you do that? Why would you do that when you've been relying on your partner the whole time?
But that's the point that I'm trying to make. If they allowed themselves to be in the mindset that said that as long as I'm getting this free shit, this is all I'm gonna do, then nigga, they was born a bum. That's just who the fuck they are. Because you gotta think about this. If in order for you to get Section 8, nigga, they have to damn near delegate where you can and where you can't stay. If it's low income housing, if it's subsidized housing, they're in control of where you can live. Nigga, I don't give a fuck how free this shit was. At some point, I'm gonna want to do what the fuck I want to do. It may have been cool to come up until I stacked some bread. If I was in that situation, till I stacked some cheese, and then said, okay, well now I done been in this for 5 years. My rent been $56, nigga, for 5 years. I've been getting $800 worth of food stamps for 5 years. Nigga, that give you enough time to put some type of plan together.
Did they give Section 8?
If you can't put a play together and you had that type of assistance, that type of a cushion, then you're a fucking bum. Nigga,
but
there's nowhere around.
80, that's the point I'm making.
I need to be educated on this. Was Section 8 available for single individuals or couples?
It's Section 8, I will have to say, would be primarily women with children by themselves. Primarily. But now there is a lot of situations where people could qualify for Section 8 depending on what their income was and depending on when you signed up for your Section 8. So if I had it, if I don't know for sure, I'm sure Benz could pull up the actual stats because don't give me the lying, but I would definitely almost guarantee that it's in the 60, maybe 60, close to 70 percentile of the people that are on Section 8 are women with kids.
But you know what changes that number? It wasn't single people that was doing it. It wasn't single mothers. It was couples that was applying for Section 8, and it was couples that was achieving Section 8.
And they probably could, but with all the stipulations, the way that they base a lot of this shit around is geared towards the mother and the kids, bro. So yeah. I'm not denying that there's ways around it. I'm not denying that a man can't go get Section 8. I'm not implementing it. I'm not applying none of that.
I was establishing the point that the foundation is not there for the survival of what's coming to life. There's not going to be a survival mechanism set in place because there's no couple together. Most of everybody lives by themselves with their kids. Couples don't exist in 2024, 2025. So how are you going to survive a financial crisis if you're raising kids by yourself? Is what I'm saying. That's going to be what we see. The problem's going to be with a lot of people suffering because there's no couples. That will hinder the situation, but you got to think about it like this too. There is plenty of couples that are on goddamn welfare and get food stamps and Section 8 and the whole nine. And just think about this. If it's two of you motherfuckers together and you lazy bitches can't get together and make it happen, then you deserve to be broke, nigga. Yeah, right. You deserve to be broke. Right. Now we got double the fucking problem. Nigga,
but 80, this is the
motherfuckers in there, y'all can't get it together.
But 80, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying about mentality. That's what the point I'm making. Is the same. I'm saying exactly what you're saying. If you got people out here that ain't take advantage of that to try to get ahead, and all they're doing is just living off that, those are the people that their mentality is that they're gonna go left because
they was gonna be limited. They was gonna be limited regardless, like what you said, because of their mindset, their mentality already. Their mentality is.
And he said, "Lazy bitches."
Yeah, I'm just saying you gotta be a special kind of lazy motherfucker to have another lazy motherfucker sitting around next to you, and neither one of you motherfuckers can make a play, and it's two of y'all. Come on, man.
That's the point I'm making, and that's why I'm saying is if you have these people with this mentality, and the majority of them have this mentality, that's why you're gonna have a majority of people going left because they already have the mentality of not getting ahead.
Well, if that's the case, then by the statistics that was pulled up, then it's going to be more white people going left than it is black people because there's more white people on goddamn food stamps.
But you know the difference with them? You know the difference with them? Here's the other problem with them. They got more guns.
Yeah. I mean, that you might be right. You might be right. But I mean,
you know what? Even when you think about it, even when you think about those white people that are living poor, right? Somehow they still got a house. They got all kinds of little ATVs and guns and that, right? They'll have a whole garage. It'll look wrecked. It'll look crazy, but they still got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, you're right. But I mean, that's the same thing though with our culture as well too. The ones that took advantage of all the shit and still pulling up in the goddamn Benz to the goddamn projects, still pulling up, still in a Section 8 complex, pulling up in a goddamn Range Rover and shit. I mean, so right. I mean, you have that shit on a regular basis. I mean, we've seen that. We've seen that our whole life. Motherfucker that's supposed to be on on benefits or whatever's going on, living better than the motherfucker that's out working 40-hour weeks. You know what I mean? Real shit.
They go to work every day. He work every day, don't miss a day. Got to be out here riding the Subaru Outback. And this nigga with no job got the kids, nigga.
Right.
Check
And
how
the
that
nigga,
add up.
But
the
that's
nigga
the
is,
problem. They got,
and
but that's the problem. Like they're using they're using
Hey,
they're using the
Wes,
system. They're
thought you
using the
said you only
system
had.
to their advantage. They're using the system
Hey,
to their
hey,
advantage.
hey, Wes, I
They,
thought you said you only had an hour.
yeah. They're using the system to their advantage. We're using the system to our demise.
yeah, for real. No, for real talk,
Yeah.
real talk.
I want to
Yeah.
get on some of those programs. so, so let
Hey,
me go take advantage too. Let me just
y'all,
go sit
y'all,
on my ass
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna
drive a
tell you
brand
this
new
though, Steph.
goddamn
I'm gonna
car
tell you some
around.
real talk, Steph. You know the crazy part, Steph. You know somebody said to me. Somebody said this to me a long time ago. The reason why we certain people don't have certain things is because of our pride. We have too much pride. If
That's true.
You
Steph,
ain't got too much pride if your ass got two motherfuckers in the same house and y'all
no,
can't
but
bust
no,
a
when I'm saying 80, what I'm saying is no, that's the point. They don't have no pride.
Yeah.
Steph has too much pride because you know what? If Steph went, even working 2 jobs, if she went to the government and said, I need help, I got 8 kids,
They'll help her. They'll
they
help
would
her.
have helped you.
Yeah, a long time ago.
They
She
would
would
have
have been
helped
getting
you a
like
long time ago.
you would have been getting a good 1,800 in food
You would
stamps
have.
every month.
And
Hey,
Steph, and it wouldn't have been nothing wrong with that. You
it would have
really
been
would have been able to get help for 8 kids by yourself. You could have
yeah.
walked in any government office and been like, I need help. I have 8 kids and still kept your 2 jobs. And they would have helped you.
Let's
Yeah,
They-
Steph, you
let's see
got 8
what
of them,
this
Steph.
let's see
Yeah.
what this is Ben's got on the
Yeah.
screen. Let's see what
yeah.
Ben's
Dude,
got on
hey,
the screen.
this white girl talking about she get 4,000 a month. Steph, you would have got 8,000 a month, girl. You could have bought 4,000 worth of food and sold the other 4,000 and got some cash.
For those of you laughing because I'm on welfare, I just want to show you something real quick. This is my upcoming pending deposit for SNAP EBT for November. If you are laughing at me right now because you think that I'm going to suffer come November, you better think again. I know how to work the system into my favor. I know how to get what I want. I have multiple sources of income, and that's where a lot of you go wrong. You rely on one source of income. But if you had multiple, if something like this were to happen where EBT gets shut down, you still have your other sources of income. But regardless, I'm still gonna get my EBT money for November. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm gonna get mine, and that's that.
$4,000.
All right,
Wow.
that girl. Let me just tell you that really grinds my gears.
Wow.
Because first of all, let's see how long that bitch. Welcome to the real world. Maybe that helped you stay afloat before, bitch.
Wow.
But your little side hustles ain't gonna keep you afloat. So let's see how long this bitch
Yeah,
lasts. I
yeah, she
can't even
do got
stand
some
people
side
like that.
hustles for sure.
But Steph, here's the reality.
For
The
sure.
reality is here's what you know what it is. You know what we gotta realize. We gotta realize even entrepreneurs, right? When entrepreneurs want to start a business, right? Most white entrepreneurs, rich, middle class to rich, right? When they want to start a business, they don't use their own money.
Yeah.
They go get loans, they get hard loans, they go borrow money from everywhere. They have no problem asking for money. They have no problem asking for help. We get too caught up on the pride of being embarrassed to ask for help. And that's just the reality of it. Because real talk, because honestly, if the system is taking advantage of us, why wouldn't we take advantage of the system? The one thing I don't agree with a lot of Trump says, but the one thing I can say about that man, he knew how to listen. I'm gonna build all these buildings
Man.
I'm gonna do all this construction in New York. I'm not gonna pay no taxes. I'm gonna keep the system
history, yeah.
and
He
still
never was
become
using his
president.
money.
You understand?
That dude was
We get too caught up in the pride part of it. I need help. We get too caught up in this shit. You know how many times I needed help And I'm sitting out here busting my ass like, you know what? Fuck that. I ain't asking nobody for nothing because motherfuckers is going to talk about me. This is facts. This is facts.
We didn't understand and accept how the system worked. And those that did understand and accept how it worked, they used it to their advantage. We didn't use it to our
But
advantage.
she dry snitched on herself though. She got on there and just put herself on
Yeah,
blast.
she did.
And she also,
that video I sent you, Ben?
Yeah, that's the one you sent earlier, wasn't it?
No. That's the one the one I sent you.
No, it's right here.
Ben, that was a good video.
Play that video and play what he said, and because I want people to hear what he's saying in that video.
Wow, she said $4,000 a month. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
whooping the system.
No, definitely. They're gonna crack down because the same way they crack down. I don't know if y'all ever seen. It was on. It was one of them judge shows, and these two girls was beefing about something, and the girl said that she sold the other one.
PlayStation.
No, not the PlayStation. She sold her. She gave her money. Oh, that the girl gave her money for the EBT card, gave her cash for the EBT card, and the feds end up looking into that, and them girls got jammed up behind that. That girl got jammed up behind that because it was on national TV.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
We're planning for Saturday night. The goal, brothers and sisters, kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen, is to win. Not to look like we're winning. I would rather carry a plastic bag with $5,000 in it than to carry a $5,000 Louis Vuitton bag with $100 in it. You ain't winning. Louis Vuitton is winning. Gucci is winning. Armani is winning. Nike is winning. We don't lack opportunity in this great country. There is unlimited opportunity. That is not our problem. We're the most creative human beings on earth. Our problem is capacity. So the 21st century for us must be about building our capacity collectively and connecting the dots to take advantage of the unlimited opportunity we have to connect, to grow, and to prosper. White folks are planning for 3 generations. We're planning for Saturday night. The goal, brothers and sisters, kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen, is to win, not to look like we're winning. I would rather carry a plastic.
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell. As a whole, we a lot of times we thinking about the right now. You know what I'm saying? We're not thinking about the long haul and being financially well off for generations to come. We don't think about the next generation right up underneath us half the time. Like I was just talking to my boys about that shit yesterday, man. About you'll see, we like to show our money and let everybody know that we got something, and then as soon as somebody passes away, they got to do a goddamn GoFundMe in order to bury somebody, or they got to sell fish plates to bury a motherfucker because they didn't have any financial awareness to know. Put money up for a rainy day. Put money up for if a tragedy happens. Put money up for burials and things of that nature. We heard our own.
Yeah, a lot of reason for that. A lot of reason for that is because but a lot of reasons for us Black folks doing that a lot is because it takes us forever to get to that financial point, to get to that financial bracket. Most of the time, if you look at where we start to where we really start generating that money, there's so much suffering and struggle to that money point. So you're not trying to look like you're struggling once you get to that money point, because you struggled so hard to get to that point already. So why are you going to walk around with a plastic bag when you've been walking around with a plastic? There is nobody out there. Wait, I'm almost done. I don't know no nigga that's gonna wear the same shoes that he did when he got that job to the point to where he become a manager. There is no manager that's gonna put on those same shoes that he got started that job in. He's gonna buy him a fresh pair of Stacey Adams or whatever shoe he has when he becomes manager. But that's the same nigga that get money. That nigga is broke. When he finally get money, he's gonna look like he's getting money. So there is a catch-22 to that situation.
No, but that's the problem. But that's our problem. That's the problem right there. That's the is that we.
No, how is that a problem if you're
No,
if, okay,
because
if you're starving, if you're struggling to eat every day you're struggling to eat, and finally when you really get to eat,
can I say why? Because let me tell you why that's a problem. Because we're too busy trying to show everybody that we made it. That's the problem. We're too busy. We're too busy trying to show everybody I got it. That's the problem. When we stop showing off, we'll be in a better place. We're too busy showing off.
But that's a moment for us though. That's not.
No,
that's not just
the moment. No, but the moment is temporary. The moment is temporary. When we stop trying to show off, most black billionaires, the majority of black billionaires that there are, half the people in the United States don't even know who those black billionaires are. Because why? Because they're not showing off. You know why they know Jay-Z is one of the black billionaires? Is because he's a rapper. But look at Jay-Z. When Jay-Z reached a certain level, he stopped showing off.
Right. That's a good point.
He was like, you know what? This shit don't even, what am I doing?
Right.
He's walking around with fucking Basquiat.
Also, I feel he knew the eyes that was on him. So you will go quiet when you know that there might be some situations that you might need to go quiet on.
Nah, I think if you listen to his music, he's been trying to tell us for years. He's been telling us for years. Even when he said, put on the button up, he tried to get Beanie. He said, yo, Siegel, you got to change your ways. Siegel didn't want to change.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dave
didn't want to change his ways. Everybody who listened to Jay became billionaires. Rihanna, Kanye, Memphis.
What would you say to Dame? What was his fault?
Dame didn't want to change his ways. Dame was too busy trying to. I'm Dame Dash. I got this. I got that. Blah 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 blah. Right?
Dame didn't come off flashy. He didn't come off like he was about money.
No, Dame is very arrogant. He's very arrogant.
Came off. Yeah, he's very arrogant, and he came off.
But even the arrogance, arrogance of like, I'm making movies. I'm making sneakers. I'm doing right. And Jay wasn't. I'm bringing the Nets to Brooklyn. Everybody, you heard about it, and then Jay said it in the song, right? But you know what I'm saying? Dame, these dudes, a lot of people, even like Diddy. Diddy was flashy and Diddy tried to. What happened? He's like, because Diddy is loud and boisterous. He's all over the place. He's this, that, right? And look, and they shut his ass down. Why they not? Jay has always moved a certain way. So when he got to a certain level, he's like, I'm cutting this flashy shit out. I'm chilling. I'm just gonna make this bread. I'm gonna make these deals. Another reason why they can't really get Jay, because Jay also is smart enough to say, okay, I got my 1%. I got my check. I got my big check. I don't even want this shit no more. I'm gonna sell it to y'all.
Yeah.
Just give me my 1%.
Disappeared.
Right. And give me my 1%. And that way I'm still getting paid. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you see, or where do you think the situation is gonna go with this EBT cutoff? Because I feel they're gonna cut that shit off, bro.
I'm telling you, it's going. I feel like the mentality of the majority, not all, but majority of the urban community, it's gonna go left because of their mentality. They already, first of all, here's what we got. Here's the facts of what we got to look at. If the urban community was going to change with all the things that like he said in that, with all the opportunities that we have out here, if the urban community was going to change, it would have changed already, right? We wouldn't have the whole.
But there's been no motivation for us to change. You have to have a reason.
But no, that's what I'm saying. It's a mentality. No, it's a motivation, right? Look at everybody that was on this panel. I'm doing Uber and Lyft. I'm also doing Airbnb, right? I tried Toro. I tried to do Toro. I tried to open a frozen yogurt shop, right? I went through my trial and errors. I took my L's, right? But that's my mentality. While I'm sitting here, this hoodie is plain as shit. Ain't no Nike on it, right? Excuse me, because I'm already like, I don't need. I ain't got to prove nothing to nobody, because honestly, when I get to where I want to get to financially, my black ass is going to be flying to Asia somewhere, because I like Asian chicks. You know what I'm saying? I might be flying back and forth. Y'all niggas ain't even going to see me in the United States. You know what I mean?
Thailand.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be in Philippines, Cambodia, where all the thick Asians is at.
Yeah, but I'm way too. I get too much vanity in my system for that. My hard work got to be seen.
Nah, but that's the thing. We got to get out of that.
Yeah. We've been on for 2 hours, man. Wrap this goddamn thing up.
We got, y'all be getting me, boy. Y'all be getting every goddamn time, boy.
Man, he don't woke up now. He came on tired, about to pass out. He got the cracking.
Because y'all be waiting. Because you know what I'm saying? I get on these talks. I get to getting up.
I got mad respect for you, homie. Mad respect.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Same here, you know what I mean?
For your truth and your analogy, and I got to give it to you. You started to show off, and you was hitting it. You was throwing bombs of knowledge, like knowledge. If you go back and watch this again, you will hear the knowledge that you was spitting, brother. I got to give you props on that. Damn good. Yeah. Good shit, man.
Shit, man. I thank y'all for coming on tonight, man, on another episode, man.
Friends, man, you got to start making clips, man, and putting it on the gram, bro.
Yeah, man. I got to have somebody doing.
Yeah, that's fact.
But shit, man, we'll tune back in. Maybe we'll get back on the NBA thing and what they got going on. You know?
Ooh, yeah. That's crazy. They snatched them up.
I think they're going to get LeBron. I think he next.
30 motherfuckers.
They said the mob was involved in that too.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I noticed? They said the niggas was out here sports betting illegally, and they doing it with the mob. But I only seen black niggas on TV getting arrested. What the mob niggas y'all talking about? Well, how come they ain't get arrested?
Right.
Where they at?
I ain't seen none of them names.
See?
I ain't seen no Anthony Calzoni.
I ain't seen no Carzonis.
I ain't seen no Mondellas. I ain't seen no Tonys.
That's a fact.
None of that. But yeah, man, I'm so side out, man. I'm gonna hit y'all up tomorrow and see what's going on.
You already.
All right, peace, y'all. We out, man. Another episode, man. I'm standing on it.